Hello everyone, welcome to Dentistionary. We are back with human physiology lectures, and today we are going to start a new unit, that is the endocrine system, where we will discuss about the several type of glands and the hormones secreted by them. Our main focus will be on the growth hormone. You can ask your doubts in the comment box. We also provide you the PPTs or the PDFs of the slides in the description box. So let's begin. Firstly, let us discuss, as we all know, our body comprises of the endocrine glands and the exocrine glands, right? The endocrine and the exocrine glands. Endocrine glands means the one that these are the ductless glands. You all know it, right? Next, whereas the exocrine glands, these are the ducted glands. The internal secretions of these glands are known as hormones. Whom? The endocrine glands. Our main topic is of the hormones. These are secreted by the endocrine glands, whereas the exocrine glands secrete enzymes, mucus, and other substances. Endocrine glands are basically the complex ones, whereas the exocrine glands are more simpler in compared to the endocrine glands. Leaving them apart, let us focus on today's topic, that is the hormones. What are hormones? Let us see the definition. These are the secretory products of ductless glands, means the endocrine glands, released directly into the bloodstream in response to a specific stimulus. Means they are directly been drained into the blood for their response. Clear? Next, there are certain characteristics which I have mentioned here. Please mark them as important. Hormones interact with their target cells via receptors, which are the large protein molecules with specific binding sites. These protein molecules have specific binding sites to which the proteins gets binded. Generally, there are 2000 to 1 lakh receptors molecules per target cells. Hormones stimulate or inhibit the rate and magnitude of biochemical reactions by the control of enzymes and thereby cause the morphological and other type of changes in the target tissues. Means what? The changes that occurs in our tissue are basically because of these hormones secreted by the glands. What they do, they stimulate or inhibit the rate and magnitude of the reactions occurring in our body. Like for example, when we get excited, we all know we secrete adrenaline or the non-adrenaline. They're also known as the stress hormones. When you get excited or get tensed, you all have noticed that our heartbeat rate increases. Why? Because our body secretes certain hormones which lead to the increase in the heartbeat. Clear? Here are the name of the glands. Okay, let me tell you what are the endocrine glands. Endocrine glands basically includes the pituitary gland, thyroid gland, parathyroid gland, adrenaline glands, sex glands, etc. Here see, you can see hypothalamus, thyroid gland, thymus gland as well, adrenaline gland as I already said, pineal gland, pituitary gland, the most important and interesting one, parathyroid gland. We also have pancreas, testes, and ovaries. Clear? See, here we can see the name of the hormones secreted by these glands. Let me clear this out. Okay. So here we can see the name of the gland, name of the hormones secreted by these glands. Firstly, let us come to the hypothalamus one. It secretes GHRH, CRH, TRH. What are they? They are the gonadotropic hormone, thyroid stimulating hormone, thyroxine, tetra, T4 is the one, calcitonin we have. There are many other hormones which we will discuss in our further slides. The first gland that we are going to discuss today is on the pituitary gland. So what are pituitary gland? Pituitary gland are basically the small endocrine glands with a diameter of 1 centimeter and having a weight of 0.5 to 1 gram. It is situated in a depression called sella turcica. Very, very important. What is sella turcica? Where it is present in the sphenoid bone at the base of the skull. You all have read what is sphenoid bone in human anatomy. It is connected with the hypothalamus by pituitary stop or hypophyseal stop. So the definition of pituitary gland, its location, this is the location, okay? Location of pituitary gland. Next comes the division of pituitary gland. Very, very important. Anterior pituitary and the posterior pituitary. So what are the hormones secreted by anterior and posterior pituitary? Posterior pituitary secrete two hormones, namely the ADH, that is the antidiuretic hormone, and oxytocin or vasopressin. Okay, ADH and oxytocin. And there is a list of hormones secreted by the anterior pituitary. What are they? The growth hormone, GH, thyroid stimulating hormone, TSH, adrenocorticotropic hormone, follicle stimulating hormone, luteinizing hormone, and prolactin. Hope so this much is clear to you all. Moving forward, we have the detailed description about the growth hormone. Please note, in your professional exams or in your terminals, you will be or you may be asked to write a note on growth hormone where you have to mention from where it is secreted. You will write it has been secreted from anterior pituitary, right? I have mentioned here already the source of secretion, its chemistry, its transport, half-life, actions, and various other factors. We will learn it step by step. So first comes the source of this hormone. Growth hormone, as the name suggests, it helps in growth, right? So what is the source? Its source is secreted by the somatotrophs, which are the acidophilic cells of anterior pituitary. If you forget these names, it's okay, but don't forget to write anterior pituitary. Clear? Let me repeat it. It has been secreted by the anterior pituitary gland. What is the chemistry, blood level, and daily output? The GH means the growth hormone is proteinaceous in nature, obviously, having single chain polypeptide with 191 amino acid. Very, very important. 191. Its molecular weight, not so important to mention, but if you can, it's good. Next is the basal level. It is approximately 300 gram per deciliter in children, whereas up to 500 in adults. Okay. In daily output, in adult, it is approximately 0.5 to 1. Okay, sorry. In children, it varies from 300 to 500, whereas in adults, it is 0.5 to 1. This much is clear. Next, coming on to its transport, it is being transported into the blood by the growth hormone binding protein, which are also known as GHBP, means the growth hormone binding proteins. S stands for proteins. Clear? What is its half-life? Its half-life is nearly about 20 minutes. It gets degraded in the liver and kidney. Okay. Please note these points. Like here we have the anterior. Let me mark it with another color. Anterior pituitary. 191 amino acids. Let me mark the important points for you. Like it's secreted by anterior pituitary. Next comprises of 191 amino acids. Concentration is nearly 300 to 500 for children and 0.5 to 1 for adults. Next, the transport secreted by the GHBP means growth hormone binding proteins. Its half-life is approximately 20 minutes and the action is it is generally responsible for the growth of the body. Hypersecretion causes enormous growth. Obviously, as I said, growth hormone, the name suggests it helps in growth. Moving on to the next slide, we have the regulation. The regulation of growth hormone secretion. It is mostly regulated by, see, hypoglycemia. Hypo means less, fasting, starvation, exercise, stress, trauma, and initial stages of sleep. And it is also inhibited by, see, it is being stimulated. Yes, stimulated by these factors, but it is being inhibited by hyperglycemia. Here it was hypoglycemia, it's hyperglycemia, increase in free fatty acids, and later stages of sleep. So the initial stages causes stimulation, later stages of sleep causes inhibition. Clear? Moving on to the next slide, we have a small chart. This will clear your doubts like hypoglycemia fasting, the stimulatory factors will affect the hypothalamus. This will cause growth hormone inhibitors, growth hormone regulating hormones, growth hormone regulatory hormones, growth hormone inhibitory hormones. Okay, it will what? It will inhibit or stimulate the anterior pituitary, which will secrete the growth hormone to the liver or to other tissues, which will cause somatomedin. Again, it will move to hypothalamus for repeated stages. Clear? It's a type of cycle which will keep on be going. Next is the applied physiology. As I said, growth hormone hypersecretion will lead to what are the diseases I would say? It's just like sorry. So what are the diseases which will be caused due to hyperactivity of growth hormone? They are gigantism. This is the dwarfism is the hyperactivity. Gigantism is one of the diseases caused due to hyperactivity of growth hormone. Next, we have the hyperactivity, which includes dwarfism. We have the causes and other factors like dwarfism mostly occurs in children characterized by stunted growth. Similarly, you will see it in our PPT. The gigantism, the factors affecting gigantism, what are the causes? Okay. So that's the end of growth hormone. These are some important topics you need to mention in your answer of growth hormone because mostly it comes in a long note. Okay. So don't forget to mention the topics and the factors that affect the stimulation, the secretion, the regulation of the growth hormones, and the rest of the factors that I mentioned in the slides. Till then, keep learning. We'll continue this unit in our next lecture. Till then, keep supporting our channel, Dentistionary. Thank you.